Uh, Good afternoon. My name is Bruce MacDonald. I'm monitoring the judging of certain classes today. This class is the B2, the best Lancashire cheese, which is for tasty, crumbly, and creamy Lancashire. It's going to be judged by Terry Hudson and Chris Dawson. If you would like to introduce yourselves, and Terry first, please.
I'm Terry Hudson. I've been in the dairy industry for around 50 years. In that time, I've made most varieties of cheese. I've managed to meet most of the cheese makers in the UK, and I've been judging at cheese shows for about 30 years. And I've been fortunate enough to travel around the globe, meeting cheese makers around in lots of different countries.
And Chris?
Hello, my name is Chris Dawson. I'm the cheese buyer for Marks and Spencer. I've worked in the cheese industry now for 18 years. I've travelled extensively around the UK and Europe, meeting some of the best cheese makers that there are. I've tasted extensively over the years and have developed an absolute passion for cheese. And I'm looking forward to trying this Lancashire class.
Excellent. So cheese 1008 is our first protocol.
So here we have what looks like a very nice Lancashire cheese. Lancashire, as Bruce said, comes in 3 different varieties. That's crumbly, which sometimes called New Lancashire, which is a very acidic crumbly cheese. Creamy, which can be a 2 or 3 day curd mixed, and some of that can be matured up to be a tasty, about 9 months or even older if you like, a very strong cheese. So sometimes you get a little bit of mottling where the different days manufacture have been mixed together. But this one looks like a and smells like a tasty. We'll have a go. So appearance, it looks very good, very rustic, and typical of a Lancashire creamy or tasty cheese.
I would say that it's a very well made cheese. It's very well formed, good colour, no obvious defects. So it looks very good, and I would score that an 8.
Yeah.
I'll be having some building work done.
Got a woodpecker. Right.
Sounds like it. Big woodpecker, must be the size of an ostrich. Okay, aroma.
Aroma.
I think it's got a very fresh, it has a very fresh, fruity aroma. It smells really inviting, and I'd score it, quite highly as an 8. It's inviting me to want to taste it.
Yes, it's lovely and clean. It's typical of a creamy or tasty Lancashire. It's got that unique aroma, which you don't really get on any other varieties of cheese. Is it creamy or a tasty? So like Chris, I'm itching to taste it.
Quite happy with an 8 as well, Terry, for aroma?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Texture?
Well, it's got a beautiful texture, which demonstrates the curd mixing, the 2 or 3 day curd mixing, and it's come together. Very difficult to pack this cheese because it is so crumbly. I think that's a very good cheese.
It has a lovely crumbly texture. Again, I would probably give it an 8 out of 10.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. True to character?
Well, yeah, I'd go as far as a 9 for this because I'm not sure you get a better.
You happy with that, Chris?
I want to taste it first of all, and then I'll do the true to character, because I think true to character is always a combination of the look,
Everything
and
else,
the
yeah.
taste.
Oh dear.
I'd say it was a creamy Lancashire. I don't think there's enough bite about it to be a tasty.
No, I'd agree. I think it hasn't broken down to become a tasty. It's still quite crumbly, but it's got a lovely freshness, a lovely richness to the flavour. It's very clean. It's a very well-made cheese, I think. So I think from a taste perspective, I give it an 8.
Okay, yeah, I'd agree with that.
And in terms of true to character, again, I'd give it another 8. I think it's a good cheese.
Yep. You happy with that, Terry?
Yeah, fine.
Excellent. Moving on to cheese 1009.
So appearance, it's obviously closer texture. This is a creamy Lancashire. There's not enough flavour for it to be a tasty again. We're not seeing the very open, crumbly texture. But you can see the slight mottling where the curd has been mixed together.
Yeah, that's typical though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Which is an attribute.
I think the appearance looks really good here for this creamy Lancashire. Nice mottling, as Terry has referred to. It's quite close textured. I'd give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
8 out of 10 for appearance. Yeah. And for aroma?
Aroma, well, it's lovely and clean. Got a fresh dairy smell. I can't pick any off flavours or taints.
No. Good.
Again, it's typical of a nice creamy Lancashire.
Again, really nice aroma, clean. It's inviting you to eat it. It's got a nice richness to that aroma. Again, I would give it another 8.
Yep.
Yeah.
And for texture?
Well, I think it's got a lovely buttery texture. Smooth and buttery. Breaks down well between the fingers. So there's probably a little bit more age than the previous Lancashire, so that this is actually broken down a little bit more.
Yep.
From a texture perspective, this is a classic creamy. Again, breaks down beautifully. It's not lumpy. It's very, very smooth. I would give an 8 out of 10 for texture.
Yep. You okay with that, Terry?
Yeah.
Okay. Excuse me.
I think Chris will agree. We'll do the flavour first,
Yeah.
True to character after. Although Chris is munching it already, so.
Well, I always eat it to find out, for me, does it confirm my feeling about true to character or not, because flavour for me is a key characteristic of any cheese, and it shows whether or not it's a really well-made cheese or not. In terms of the flavour, I think it's clean, so it backs up everything that we've seen with the aroma. Yeah. It's clean, it's rich, it's got a nice creamy tanginess coming through. It's very Moorish, you just want to go back and have another piece. So for me, another 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd agree. It's lovely, rounded, creamy, buttery flavour.
Yep. And true to character?
Well, I think it's a very good true to character cheese, and it's a lovely example of a creamy Lancashire cheese.
Yep. So the score is going to be?
Well, I would say compared to the last one, I would say this one is slightly better because of the texture.
Okay, so, well, the last one scored 8 on true to character, so this one's going to get.
Right. We have to give it 9.
9.
Yeah.
So,
do you think this is slightly better, Christian?
Yeah, I think so.
Excellent.
It's a 9.
9. Okay, that's that one done. Next up, we have cheese 1116.
So appearance, I'm not really seeing the mixed curd on this one. I do like to see the sort of marbling on a traditional Lancashire cheese where the curds have been mixed. I don't know what you think, Chris.
I think the previous cheese had far more marbling than we're seeing on this. For me, this is this is lacking the marbling, and it just doesn't look as well-made cheese as the previous one. So I would score it as a 5 in terms of appearance.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it just looks a bit sort of waxy, sort of.
Okay, moving on to aroma.
In terms of aroma, for me, this has a taint coming across. I find it quite yeasty on the nose. I wouldn't really associate that with a good Lancashire, so I'm going to score that as a 5. Okay. I'm not getting that freshness or that richness coming across on the aroma.
Hey, Terry.
Yes, it's not quite as clean as the previous example. So,
yeah.
So I'd agree.
5 it is. Yeah. Texture.
It's a little bit lumpy, not quite as smooth and buttery and creamy as the last one. When I work it between my fingers, it just finishes up a little bit granular. I don't know if Chris is getting the same.
Yeah, no, it's breaking apart in my fingers, Terry. I'd agree with the granular comments. I would probably give this a 5 for texture. I just don't think it's where it needs to be.
Okay, and flavour.
Flavour, well, in my opinion, it had a little bit of a taint. So I would say 6 for flavour.
You okay with that, Chris?
Yeah, I'll go with a 6. It's again, I'm getting quite a lot of yeasty notes coming through from the palate. It's not as clean as I would have expected for this cheese.
Okay, and true to character.
Well, I would say a 6 all round.
Yeah.
It's,
You okay with that, Chris?
Yeah, go with the 6.
Right. So in first place we have cheese 1009.
that was the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 1008 is in second place.
Yeah.
And in third place is obviously 1116.